Imagine facing a sudden car repair bill of $1,000. Could you handle it without breaking a sweat? Or what if you lost your job and it took a couple of months to find a new one? Would you be able to cover your living expenses without going into debt? These are the kind of unexpected financial shocks that life can throw at us, and they can be downright terrifying if we're not prepared. That's where an emergency fund comes into play. An emergency fund is a stash of money set aside to cover the financial surprises life throws your way. It's like a financial safety net that keeps you from falling into debt when you're hit with unexpected expenses. Now you might think, I'm careful with my money, I won't need to dip into an emergency fund. But here's a sobering fact. Life is unpredictable, cars break down, medical emergencies happen, and jobs can be lost. When you have an emergency fund, these events can be bumps in the road rather than financial derailments. Take job loss, for instance. It's a grim prospect, but it's also a reality for many people at some point in their lives. With an emergency fund, you have a buffer that can cover your living expenses while you're looking for a new job. Without it, you might have to rely on credit cards or loans, which can lead to a vicious cycle of debt. Or consider unexpected medical bills. Even with insurance, a sudden illness or injury can result in hefty out-of-pocket costs. An emergency fund can be a lifeline, preventing you from having to choose between your health and your financial stability. In short, an emergency fund is not just an option, it's a financial necessity. It's the key to weathering life's financial storms with your peace of mind intact. So if you're ready to start building your financial safety net, stick around. We're about to dive into how to set a savings goal for your emergency fund. So how much should you ideally save in your emergency fund? A great question. To get your answer, it's time to get a little mathematical. Don't worry, it's not rocket science. First, you'll want to calculate your monthly expenses. This includes everything from your rent or mortgage, utility bills, groceries, and transportation, to your health insurance and personal spending. Add it all up. Now here's where the 3 to 6 months rule comes into play. Most financial advisors recommend that your emergency fund should cover at least 3 to 6 months worth of your living expenses. Why? Let's hear it from the expert. Having 3 to 6 months worth of expenses set aside provides a safety net that can keep you afloat during a financial crisis. It gives you time to recover without resorting to loans or credit cards, which can lead to debt, says financial advisor Jane Doe. So if your monthly expenses total $2,000, your emergency fund should ideally sit between $6,000, that's 3 months, and $12,000, that's 6 months. This might seem like a daunting figure, but don't let it intimidate you. Setting a savings goal isn't about reaching a huge number overnight. It's about starting somewhere and consistently adding to it. Remember, your savings goal should be realistic and achievable. Start with what you can and gradually work your way up. It's all about taking that first step. Starting an emergency fund may sound daunting, but remember, every drop counts. It's not about how much you save at once, but rather the consistency of your savings. Think of it as a journey, not a race. And every small step you take gets you closer to your goal. Now you might be wondering, how can I save when I'm living paycheck to paycheck? Well, the key is to start small. If you can set aside just $5 a week, that's a start. It may not seem like much, but over a year that's $260 you've saved. And if you increase that amount gradually over time, your fund will grow even faster. Let's hear a success story. Meet Jane. Jane was in your shoes not too long ago, living paycheck to paycheck. But she decided to start her emergency fund with just $10 a week. It wasn't easy, but she stuck with it. Fast forward to today, Jane has a robust emergency fund that has cushioned her from unexpected financial shocks. Her secret? Starting small and staying consistent. So don't be discouraged if you can't save large amounts right away. Remember Jane's story. Every small amount you save is a step in the right direction. And with time, these small steps will add up to a significant safety net. Starting small can lead to big results. One of the easiest ways to build your emergency fund: automate it. Think of it as setting it and forgetting it. Imagine you're on a road trip. You've set your destination in your GPS, and now, all you need to do is follow the directions. You don't have to worry about getting lost or taking a wrong turn, because your path is already laid out for you. That's what automatic savings is like. Just as you would schedule a recurring meeting or a monthly subscription, you can schedule automatic transfers from your checking account to your savings account. Most banks offer this feature through their online banking platforms, and it's typically as easy as selecting an amount, choosing a frequency, and clicking OK. Here's the magic part. Once you've set this up, your savings start to grow without you having to lift a finger. Every week, every month, a small portion of your income quietly slips away into your emergency fund. And because it's automatic, you're less likely to miss the money or be tempted to skip a transfer. This simple step can help you turn a daunting task into a manageable one. It's like having a personal financial assistant working behind the scenes, helping you reach your goals. Automating your savings takes the thinking out of saving and makes it a seamless part of your life. When it comes to saving, consistency is key. It's not just about the amount you're tucking away, but the regularity with which you do it. Think of saving as a non-negotiable, a recurring bill that you must pay each month. This mindset shift can make a huge difference in your journey towards financial stability. Now let's talk about strategies to make saving a habit. One of the most effective ways is to treat your savings like a recurring bill. Just as you wouldn't skip paying your rent or your internet bill, don't skip your savings. Dedicate a specific portion of your income each month to your emergency fund. Another effective strategy is to utilize technology to help you stay on track. There are countless budgeting apps available that can assist you in earmarking funds for emergencies. These apps not only help you track your spending and savings, but also provide reminders and incentives to save. Remember, the goal here is to make saving a priority. It's not something you do when you have extra cash. It's something you do consistently, regardless of your financial situation. This habit of prioritizing savings can help you avoid financial stress in the future and set you up for long-term financial success. So start today. Make that commitment to yourself and your future. Prioritizing your savings can set you up for long-term financial success. Resisting the urge to spend your savings can be tough, but it's crucial. Picture this. You've been diligently building your emergency fund for a while now. It's sitting there, growing steadily, and then you see the latest tech gadget or dream vacation. The temptation to dip into your savings can be strong, but hold on, let me share a story. Jane had been saving her pennies for months, and when she saw a designer handbag she'd been coveting, she was tempted to splurge. But she resisted, and boy was she glad she did. Just a few weeks later, her car broke down unexpectedly, and that emergency fund came to her rescue. The moral of the story: your emergency fund is not an extra spending account. It's a lifeline for when life throws you a curveball. So, as tempting as it might be, exercise discipline. Remember, your emergency fund is for emergencies only. Building an emergency fund is a journey, not a sprint. We've learned the importance of having a safety net, setting a savings goal, starting small, automating our savings, making it a priority, and resisting the urge to spend. There's no better time to start than now. If you need more guidance, there are countless resources available to help you. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for more financial advice. Start building your emergency fund today.